For Marlborough, here's Rachel Maxted. Auburn hair, brown eyes, 5'7", 34, 24, 34 and a half. Miss Christchurch, Canterbury, a mid-blonde with blue eyes. Philippa Hanson is 5'6 and a half, 34, 24, 35. Here's Miss South Canterbury. Deborah Jackson is 5'9", 35, 25, 36 and a half. North Otago's Lisa Jardin has chestnut hair and brown eyes. She stands 5'5", 32, 23, 34. Miss Otago is Kerry with black hair and brown eyes. Kerry's 5'9", 33, 25, 35. And now Miss Southland, blonde hair and blue eyes. Lillian Cruikshank is 5'9", 34, 24 and a half, 34. The 19 Sunsilk Miss New Zealand contestants, all lovely and each a credit to her region. Kerry, does that tempt you back to the beach?
I think it might be a trifle chilly for me, Peter. However, we certainly have come a long way from the swim trunks and costumes of the past. Let's go to the scoreboard now, though, and update the scores. And here we have Miss Wellington, Miss Christchurch Canterbury, Miss Waikato, and Miss Auckland, all in the top selection. Still early days yet, though, Peter.
It's still anybody's contest. Perhaps things will become clearer when we return to the Sunsilk Miss New Zealand 1987 contest. Were launched by a then relatively unknown Otago farmer. On Sunsilk Miss New Zealand 1987, we pause for a moment to remember the legendary Joe Brown. Joe was an unlikely entrepreneur. He was born in 1907. He wouldn't have answered to the name Joe then. He was actually christened Andrew. Joe was just a nickname which stuck. He was the oldest of 4 girls and 2 boys. His father, in fact, was one of the original Otago gold miners. He lived in this well-loved house on the Taieri Plains in Mosgiel. He was that unlikely combination, a showbiz farmer. Joe was a wonderfully warm and human person, and a very kind one too. Even when his empire stretched right across the world, he still had time for people. And I know lots of people tonight will be watching, and they'll remember Joe Brown with much gratitude and much affection. And we're only sorry that Joe isn't here with us tonight, although if I know Joe Brown, he probably is. And I know he'd like this next part of our program too. It's called The Mode's Fun Fantasy.
And soft pastel fuchsia, which makes for romantic fantasies in this pure silk gown. The curved tulip hemline is tea-length, and that's a feature of the designs in this collection tonight. For Vanessa, shimmering blue silk, set off by a cluster of giant teardrops at the neckline with matching crystal earrings. The deep V-back finishes in an asymmetrically trimmed hip sash. And on Marissa, exaggerated puffball sleeves make a dramatic statement in periwinkle blue silk. This striking silhouette provides a glimpse of leg through a slim split skirt. Kerry's fine black silk has just a hint of soft salmon pink flowing through a curved, flouncy skirt for ease of movement. The large elongated bow is softened by the touch of salmon. And Lisa's wearing the sophisticated combination of champagne and black to add a formal touch. Large jet crystal and bronze glass beads form a cluster at the ear. All our contestants tonight in this parade are wearing shoes from Hannah's, the shoe people. Angela, showing layers of net petticoats which add fullness to this coral, silver and pewter silk gown. The waistline is softly ruched and reduced by the clever use of colour. Amanda's coral silk peplum adds a spirited young look to the body skimming line of this charcoal silk gown. A silk bow bustle adds the compulsory finishing touch. Julie is wearing a long-waisted body-skimming boned bodice falling into layered petals of black silk organza. The soft pink is picked out in a pretty Venetian glass choker. And for Philippa, it's layers upon layers of electric blue silk organza. These give fullness and movement to this soft petal dress. An organza rose in full bloom completes the picture. We're looking at a wonderful parade of evening fun fantasy, the gowns by Modes of Broadway. Rachel's silk flower adds a simple artistic gesture to the softly ruched hipband in this cerise silk gown. The golden jet earrings form an actual locket at the ear. Kerry's hand-draped ruching forms a soft bodice in this emerald silk gown. The tulip skirt is finished with a large bow at the back, and emerald glass beads and diamantes form the base of a figure-8-shaped cluster earring. Karen's in another form-flattering design, this time in magenta silk. The waistline accentuated by a contrasting cummerbund. And drama is added to Vanessa's strapless cocktail chic by the addition of an emerald and black silk fan. The fan theme is carried through to the large golden diamante earrings. For Rachel, it's another cocktail sheath, this time in black and white silk, with a touch of alluring bronze and a striking choker and earring set. Beautiful fashions for our beautiful contestants tonight, and at this part of the contest, it's a fun fantasy parade with gowns by Modes of Broadway. Michelle is wrapped at the waist by a wide cummerbund. This innocently full-skirted design illustrates another imaginative play on black and white. Full petticoats add grace to movement, while boning supports the soft fluting over the bust. Shelley's striking black and white printed silk sleeves exaggerate a slim black silhouette. The sweetheart neckline is completed with a twisted jet and pearl choker and matching earrings. Angela's black and white checkered silk here adds a whimsical touch to this boned bubble design. This silk has been cut on the cross to accent the waist and the hip line. Formality, worn with a shrug. This is the image created by Lillian's deep turquoise silk poof dress. Black Venetian glass at the neckline picks out the colour of many tiny silk bows punched and tied at whim. And for Deborah, it's an emerald and cerise silk bursting with vitality in this snappy bustier bubble. The golden pewter choker complements large stylized hoop earrings. Tonight's sparkling parade of evening fun fantasy, and we saw fashions from Modes of Broadway.
Our 19 lovely contestants proving that fashion can be fun. We'll return in just a moment with part 4 of Sunsilk, Miss New Zealand 1987. Miss Southland, Lillian Cruikshank. Lillian comes from Invercargill. She's 21. Lovely cloud of smoky blonde hair, blue eyes. She works at the district court as a typist in Invercargill. She's interested in acting and collecting art. She herself was in the Royal New Zealand. Kerry is 19. She comes from Dunedin. Black hair, brown eyes, 5'9". She's a law student studying at the University of Otago. Her dearest wish is for admission to the New Zealand Bar in the fullness of time. Miss Otago, Kitty Cowan. Miss North Otago, Lisa Jarden. Lisa is just 17. She comes from Oamaru, as she calls it, the White Stone City. Chestnut hair, brown eyes. She's 5'5". She works as a sales assistant, and she enjoys all sorts of sports. Miss North Otago, Lisa Jarden. Miss South Canterbury, Deborah Jackson. Deborah comes from Timaru. She's 18, brown hair, brown eyes. She's a student at Otago University, studying for an arts degree. Music is her first love. She loves singing, playing the clarinet, and she also plays organ for the local church services. Miss South Canterbury. Miss Christchurch Canterbury, Philippa Hanson. Philippa comes from Avonhead, a mid-blonde with blue eyes, 5'6½", 34, 24, 35. She works as a receptionist and a part-time model. She likes skiing and windsurfing, and she's recently taken up singing. Miss Christchurch Canterbury, Philippa Hanson. Miss Marlborough, Rachel Maxted. Rachel is 18. She comes from sunny Blenheim, auburn hair, brown eyes, 5'7", 34, 24, 34½. Rachel works as a hairdresser in Blenheim. She's interested in antiques and actively participates in equestrian sports. Miss Marlborough. Miss Nelson, Amanda Tratham. Amanda is aged 17. She comes from Richmond, a mid-blonde with blue eyes, standing 5'8½", 34, 25, 36½. She's a secretary in a fashion store. Her father's actually an amateur trainer of racehorses, including a few winners. Miss Nelson, Amanda Tratham. Miss Wellington, Vanessa Abbott. Vanessa is 17. Blonde with hazel eyes. She stands 5'9", 34, 24, 35. She's a model, but she enjoys surfing and water skiing. For 6 months, she attended college in America, where she became cheerleader for the college gridiron team. Miss Wellington, Vanessa Abbott. Miss Wairarapa, Michelle Hinchcliffe. Michelle is 22. Another blue-eyed blonde. She stands 5'11", a lovely statuesque girl, 33½, 24½, 36½. She's a receptionist with a university background. She enjoys ballet, painting and designing. Miss Wairarapa, Michelle Hinchcliffe. Miss Horowhenua, Rachel Crowe. Rachel comes from Levin. She's 19 years old. Blonde hair, blue eyes, 5'5½", 38, 29, 37. She works as a pharmacy assistant and enjoys horse riding and trout fishing. Miss Horowhenua, Rachel Crowe. Miss Manawatu, Angela Stewart. Angela comes from Palmerston North. She's 17 years old. Blonde hair and blue eyes, 5'3½", 33, 24, 35. She's an assistant manageress in a clothing store. She enjoys sewing and aerobics. Miss Manawatu, Angela Stewart. Miss Taranaki, Shelley Soap. Shelley is age 20. She comes from the pleasant Taranaki township of Waitara. Brown hair and hazel eyes, standing 5'8". She has a very responsible job. She's the head teller in a bank in Waitara. But she enjoys getting out of doors and jogging and cycling. Miss Taranaki, Shelley Soap. Miss Taupo Tongariro, Julie Walpole. Julie is just 18. Ash blonde hair, green eyes, 5'5", 34½, 24½, 33½. She's a sales assistant in a boutique in Taupo. Miss Taupo Tongariro, Julie Walpole. Miss Waikato, Kerry Blackwell. Kerry is 19, blonde with green eyes, 5'8". She's a private secretary in Hamilton. She enjoys cooking, sewing and gardening. Sounds like the perfect potential wife. She comes from a farming background and she loves animals. As you heard, she used to have a pet hedgehog. Miss Waikato, Kerry Blackwell. Miss Bay of Plenty, Vanessa Blanford. Vanessa comes from Tauranga, and she's just 17 with blonde hair, blue eyes, 5'8½", 34, 25, 34. She's an accounts clerk with a motor firm. She enjoys modelling and netball. Miss Bay of Plenty, Vanessa Blanford. Miss Thames Valley, Coromandel, Angela Prosser. Angela's just 18. She works as a trading clerk. She comes from the Hauraki Plains. Brown hair and blue-grey eyes. She's a very keen writer, as she told us, in the manner of Hammond Innes. Can't wait to read her first book. Miss Thames Valley Coromandel, Angela Prosser. Miss Counties, Karen Metcalf. Karen is 17. Ash blonde, green eyes, 5'8", 35, 26, 36. She comes from Manukau City, and she's a part-time model. She likes badminton as well. Miss Counties, Karen Metcalf. Miss Auckland, Marisa Poser. Marisa is 17, a honey blonde with hazel eyes, 5'8". She is a niece of the legendary New Zealand guitarist Peter Poser, a second-generation New Zealander of Yugoslavian ancestry. Her hobbies range from weightlifting to trivial pursuits. She was recently seen in the Benson and Hedges Fashion Awards. Miss Auckland, Marisa Poser. Miss Northland, Karen Taylor. Karen is 21, blonde hair and hazel eyes. She's a sales assistant in Whangarei, although she was brought up in the Northland township of Okaihau. She lists one of her interests as drag racing. Miss Northland, Karen Taylor. One of these girls will become Miss New Zealand 1987. Let's have another update from the scoreboard, and then I'll be able to tell you the names of the 9 semi-finalists. Kerry.
Well, over the past 3 hectic days, each of our contestants have been individually interviewed by the judging panel. Rather a nerve-wracking experience, I should imagine. However, I have it on very good authority that all of our contestants came through with flying colours. To see just how they did fare, let's update the scores. And there we see Miss Taranaki, Miss Otago, Miss Waikato and Miss Wellington, all in the top bracket at the moment of the point scorers.
Thank you very much, Kerry. And now I've just been handed a card with the names of the 9 semi-finalists on it. I'll read them out in no special order. Semi-finalists are Miss Wairarapa, Michelle Hinchcliffe. Miss Christchurch, Canterbury, Philippa Hanson. Miss Auckland, Marisa Poser. Miss Northland, Karen Taylor. Miss Wellington, Vanessa Abbott. Miss Otago, Kerry Cowie. Miss Counties, Karen Metcalf. Miss Waikato, Kerry Blackwell. and Miss Taranaki Shelley Soap. Our congratulations to the 9 semi-finalists. And at this point of the show, of course, it's always our habit to just ask the girls a brief question, because if the one who becomes Miss New Zealand and has to go along to the Miss World contest will have to face a lot of questions and a lot of journalists. So first, let's talk to Miss Wairarapa. Miss Wairarapa, if you were asked in London at the Miss World contest what New Zealanders were really like, what would you tell them?
Well, I'd say that they're probably one of the most friendly nationalities that I can think of. They've got a good sense of humour, they're bright and cheerful, and basically just wonderful people to know.
We sound so nice, don't we? Thank you very much, Miss Wairarapa. Michelle Hinchcliffe. Pamela Hanson, Miss Christchurch, Canterbury. Christchurch, often described as the most English city outside England. Do you think that New Zealanders are more like English people than other Commonwealth countries, say Australia or Canada?
Yes, I certainly think so. I think probably the accent has a wee bit of an English touch to it as well.
Thank you very much, Miss Christchurch, Canterbury. Miss Auckland, Marisa Posa. If you're at the Miss World contest as Miss New Zealand, what would you most like to promote about this country, New Zealand?
Well, I think that New Zealand has got a lot to offer, especially in the Maori culture now, that we are very proud to have another nationality to be in our country, and now it's coming in the schools and speech and everything, and I think that our land is beautiful. We're a pollution-free country, and I'm very proud of it.
Thank you, Miss Auckland. And now, Miss Northland, if you were in London trying to tell people of the beauties of Northland, where would you begin?
Well, I would try and have a fresh approach to try and let that be the first reflection of our country. And then I would say that New Zealand is mainly still a farming country, and that we have such a vast majority of things to offer in New Zealand, ranging from upmarket cities to farming places to the desert to snowy mountains as well.
And all the beauties of Northland too. Thank you, Miss Northland. Miss Wellington, can I ask you on a different note now, what made you enter the contest?
Well, I entered it for the experience that it was going to give me, and for the fun of being in it and meeting everyone, and also to be in a live TV production.
Well, I hope it's living up to your expectations, is it?
It certainly is.
Good. Thank you, Miss Wellington. Miss Otago, traditionally home, of course, of the Miss New Zealand contest. What would you like to tell the world if you went to London about your hometown, Dunedin?
Dunedin has got a beautiful atmosphere. I'm sure everyone would enjoy visiting Dunedin. We've got beautiful architecture, wonderful scenery, and I'm not just talking about Dunedin, I'm talking about Central Otago. It's just a wonderful place and the people are great.
Thank you very much, Miss Otago. Miss Counties, Karen Metcalf, if you went as Miss New Zealand 1987 to the Miss World contest in London, what New Zealand products would you do your best to try and promote?
Well, I'd have to tell all the English people that New Zealand has the best meat and the best butter in the world.
And you'd be telling them the truth. Thank you very much, Miss Counties. Miss Waikato, you're from bustling Hamilton. If you were in London, what would you tell the Londoners about Hamilton?
Well, I would tell them that Hamilton is called the Fountain City, and it's very beautiful, and that it is a very good place to meet. Everybody is very down to earth and natural and really friendly, and they'd really enjoy it there.
Sounds like fun to me. Thank you very much, Miss Waikato. And now, Miss Taranaki, Shelley. So, Shelley, you've described Taranaki as the powerhouse of New Zealand. Is that what you'd tell people if you went to London?
Yes, I would, but also I would say to them, Peter, that Taranaki is also showing great initiative in diversification of industry such as tourism.
Thank you very much, Miss Taranaki. The judges have been watching and listening to the girls, and shortly I'll be able to announce to you the 6 finalists right after this break when we return to Sunsilk, Miss New Zealand, 1987. New Zealand, 1987. During that break, the judges were coordinating their scores. Kerry, can you let us have them yet?
Yes, the judges certainly have had their heads together, Peter, and my word, they've really had their work cut out for them this evening. It's time now, though, for just 6 of our contestants to go through to the final round of Sunsilk Miss New Zealand 1987. Peter, I believe you're in receipt of the envelope, so it's over to you to reveal who those lucky contestants will be.
I've just been handed the envelope containing the names of the lucky 6 finalists. And they are, once again, in no particular order. Miss Auckland, Marisa Posa. Miss Taranaki, Shelley Soap. Miss Wellington, Juanessa Abbott. Miss Christchurch, Canterbury, Philippa Hanson. Miss Waikato, Kerry Blackwell. And Miss Counties, Karen Metcalf. And now at this time of the show, with our 6 finalists, we always give them one question. We ask the same question of each girl. Traditionally, it's been a question which deals with politics or the economy or something rather serious, but we've chosen one this time which is extremely topical. It relates directly to what the girls, in fact, are doing. They've been discussing it quite a lot over the past weeks, in fact. Incidentally, the other 5 girls won't be able to hear the answers given by any individual girl, so they can't be pre-coached. A Miss World contestant suggested that since contestants were allowed to choose what they wore, she could enter the contest topless. Should they be allowed to, or should they not? Let's find out what our contestants think. It's actually quite a hard question to field, this one. First, Miss Auckland, Marisa Posa. Should beauty contestants be allowed to enter topless?
Well, I think that every girl has their own decision whether they want to do it or not, but personally I wouldn't do it. But I don't think that New Zealand as a country would like their ambassador to perform that overseas.
Well said. Thank you, Miss Auckland. Now, Miss Taranaki. Miss Taranaki, I'll ask you the question I've just asked Miss Auckland. Should beauty contestants be allowed to go into contests topless?
Well, I think every girl's got their own opinion, but personally, Peter, I don't think they should be allowed to, because I think that they should be able to preserve some part of their body and of their image to keep to themselves.
Thank you very much, Miss Taranaki. Thank you. And now, Miss Wellington, Juanessa Abbott. Miss Wellington, should beauty contestants be allowed to enter contests topless?
Well, my opinion is no. I think it would downgrade it, and it would actually put an end, I would say, to it. The competition, there would be so many girls that would pull out because they would not want to be involved in a pornography television program.
Thank you very much, Miss Wellington. And now, Miss Christchurch, Canterbury. Miss Christchurch, Canterbury, it's been suggested that beauty contestants should be allowed to enter beauty contests topless. What do you think?
Well, Peter, I think it takes a lot more to win the Miss World than just by going topless, and if that was the case, I would have been doing it years ago.
Thanks very much. Thank you, Miss Christchurch, Canterbury. Miss Waikato. Miss Waikato, should beauty contestants be allowed to enter beauty pageants topless?
Well, I think if they entered in topless, it would become a boob competition, not a beauty competition.
Fair enough. I think that says it all. Miss Counties. Miss Counties, do you think beauty contestants should be permitted to enter beauty contests topless?
No, I don't. I think that it would lower the tone of the contest, and it's supposed to be a beauty fashion show for family viewing, and I think that a person should be judged on more than just their physical attributes.
Thank you, Miss Counties. And now it only remains for the judges to decide on the first 3 placings. Kerry, I suppose the usual agonising is going on, is it?
Certainly is, Peter. Each year we comment on the difficulty that faces the judging panel in the process of selecting Miss New Zealand. Well, that difficulty is almost over. The judges are now making their final decision, and in a moment, one contestant will not only take away over $50,000 worth of prizes, but she will embark on a year of glamour, excitement and travel as Miss New Zealand 1987. And we'd like to wish all our contestants the very best of luck. And Peter, after hosting so many of these contests, I'm sure you, above everybody else, knows just how those contestants might be feeling at this moment.
You're absolutely right, Kerry. Our 6 finalists, of course, are in a state of extreme tension. So to relax them, to give the judges a little extra time, and also to keep ourselves entertained, let's join Soul on Ice with Liz Diamond up front for a little summer love. just a moment, we'll return to Sunsilk Miss New Zealand 1987.
Michelle's fine hair can't take 7 more hours of this damp air.
It's really flopped.
You need more body here and more fullness right here, see? But the trick is to make it last. And new Sunsilk Extra Body Shampoo and Conditioner is improved to give body and fullness that really lasts. Now that's fullness. And it still looks great 7 hours later. New Extra Body from Sunsilk.
Elizabeth Arden just turned makeup into mousse. Introducing Simply Perfect Mousse Makeup. Touch it. It's so light, so airy. It glides on, blends easily, covers.
On Sunsilk Miss New Zealand 1987, it's a great pleasure now to welcome back the girl who must relinquish her crown only moments from now. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the reigning Miss New Zealand, lovely Linda McManus. Lovelier than you were exactly a year ago, if indeed that was possible. How's the year been?
It's been wonderful, Peter. I've had many trips up and down the country visiting towns and cities throughout New Zealand, and I've had many trips overseas to different countries all over the world. It's been a wonderful year.
I'm glad it's been a wonderful year because you've been a wonderful Miss New Zealand and we'll miss you. But now let's remind the girls once again of what's at stake here. The prize package, we cross back to the Regent Hotel in Auckland.
The Regent of Auckland, a notable landmark in busy downtown Auckland. And in the elegant setting of the Royal Suite, we preview the prizes each contestant will take home. For simply beautiful hair, a year's supply of Sunsilk hair care products. A complimentary fashion pack of Mary Quant Cosmetics in the latest fashion colours for lips, nails and eyes. From Michael Hill Jeweller, genuine cultured pearl earrings with 9-carat fittings. The International In-Flight bag by Gino Borelli. 2 pairs of shoes from the new autumn collection by Hannah's The Shoe People. From Surf Seeker Swimwear, 2 fabulous swimsuits from their exciting new season's range, seen here on the rooftop of the Regent of Auckland. Third prize is the Philips 16-inch portable colour TV with remote control. Second prize, the Philips Hi-Fi component system with furniture package from Philips' exciting new Audio 87 range. The winner of Sunsilk Miss New Zealand 1987 will compete in the Miss World contest to be held in London in November of this year. Air New Zealand will be proud to fly Miss New Zealand 1987 to London in the comfort and style of their 747 aircraft. And back to the luxurious suite at the Regent of Auckland. The winner will also take away from Sunsilk a special gift pack of their hair care products for simply beautiful hair. Mary Quant Cosmetics for 1 year, consisting of skincare products and latest fashion colours for lips, nails and eyes. From Michael Hill Jeweller, a spectacular 18-carat gold diamond and sapphire dress ring worth $3,600. Footwear to the value of $1,500 from a wide selection in the latest fashions from Hannah's The Shoe People. From Wilson Neal, a collection of luxurious Winwood gold medal lambskin rugs valued at $2,000. At Compass Duty Free, a $3,000 shopping spree from an exciting range of international products. An evening gown designed for her by Modes of Broadway. And from Pepper Tree and Sunny Knitwear, a $4,000 wardrobe of fully coordinated fashions in the very latest styles. $4,000 worth of American Express traveller's checks. We wouldn't let her leave home without them. A complete set of travel luggage by Gino Borelli. One of the qualities our judges look for in a potential Miss New Zealand is her ability to smile, long and often. So it should come as no surprise then that the star prize of the evening is the sensational Sentra from Nissan, Japan's car of the year that has everyone smiling. This bright red Nissan Sentra is a pacey 3-door hatch with a 1300cc performance engine, up-to-the-minute design features, and a level of equipment and luxury to keep our new Miss New Zealand in the style to which you'll become accustomed. Nissan Sentra, a sensational car for a sensational lady. And our thanks to the Regent of Auckland.
Prize package. With me now, the convener of the judging panel. He has the envelopes containing the 3 names. But first, Dave, do you have any comments this year on the contestants?
Peter, it's a surprising young age group this year. As a matter of fact, our youngest was 17 and our oldest was only 22.
Must have made the job extremely hard for you.
Has this year.
But you have got the envelopes. Could I have, please, the 3rd place getter? 3rd place in Sunsilk Miss New Zealand 1987 goes to Miss Wellington Vanessa Abbott. Lovely Vanessa Abbott receives the sash and the flowers from Linda McManus, who is still just Miss New Zealand. And now I'm going to ask the convener for the 2nd place winner. Second place in this contest goes to Miss Christchurch Canterbury, Philippa Hanson. And after all these years and all these contests, I still find this one of the most exciting moments of all. David, could I have the winner, please? Miss New Zealand, 1987. Sunsilk Miss New Zealand, 1987, is Miss Counties, Karen Metcalf. Karen Metcalf, Miss Counties, is now Miss New Zealand 1987. She's invested with the winner's sash by Kerry McManus. She's crowned. And as soon as the crown is secure, will receive her trophy. Karen Metcalf, Miss Counties, now Miss New Zealand 1987. Karen, first, congratulations, and I must ask you the obvious question. Did you expect it, and what does it feel like?
No, I didn't, and I'm still in shock.
I know you'll be a wonderful representative for New Zealand. We all know that, and we'd all like to wish you the very best of luck at the Miss World contest in London. From Sunsilk, Miss New Zealand 1987, congratulations. Your first duty is your victory walk, and then you may take your throne. Congratulations.